then it was lovely, and especially all the children, I thought they were great. It's very nice to think that I am one of the voluntary organisations who have been asked to be in the Great War.
Bromley is that type and level of community which brings about a lot of voluntary people.
We are going to have a reserved space for us in the car park for the Queen's visit, which we're very, very lucky.
I think a picture of Bromley so she could always be reminded of what it looked like. Just a picture of Bromley and the people and everything.
Every picture tells a story, and today, Wednesday the 26th of March, every story is a happy one. The Queen is coming to meet the people of Bromley. At the Civic Centre, people come early for the best view. 2 hours before the Queen's arrival, there is already a party atmosphere in the car park, where the Royal Walkabout will take place. A clean and green borough, a community with a volunteer spirit, a day with a feel for traditional values. Half an hour before the royal arrival, the Bromley Salvation Army Band continues to entertain this huge crowd, representing so many activities in Bromley. Months of meticulous planning are now coming to a head. A day of celebration to be shared by people of every age. Now the moment for which the huge crowds along the royal route are waiting. In Penge, sunlight glints on the helmets of the police outriders, leading the royal car down the hill from Crystal Palace. The procession slows to let everyone enjoy to the full this moment of history. Pictures which will remain in the mind forever. Here, Her Majesty and Prince Philip now enjoy a foretaste of the strength of welcome from the people of Bromley, the London Borough. Every smile tells the same story, a never-ending line of loyal onlookers guiding this right royal progress. In Beckenham, so great are the crowds that the royal car is brought almost to a halt. In what other country could you find a head of state so close to her people? At the Civic Centre, the Royal Standard unfurls as the procession enters the car park. A moment of majesty and yet simplicity. Just 2 cars, a family visit. The royal family meeting the people of Bromley. The Deputy Lieutenant, Colonel Wood OB, greets the royal party and introduces the Mayor, Councillor Richard Foyster. He, in turn, introduces the Mayoress, Mrs. Iris Foyster, the Chief Executive, Nigel Polk, Mrs. Polk, the Leader of the Council, Dennis Barkway, OBE, and other distinguished representatives. The Queen and Prince Philip walk towards the end of the twin lines of representative organisations. Schools, Girl Guides, Scouts, Age Concern from Penge, Beckenham, Bromley and Orpington, Duke of Edinburgh campaigners, too many to name individually. Almost 60 organisations offering their loyal greetings in this royal visit. Carla Wells, the girl who wished to give the Queen a picture of Bromley, comes forward with a bouquet.
Your Majesty, may I present this bouquet to welcome you on behalf of all the citizens of Bromley? Thank you, Mother.
A bouquet from the citizens of Bromley. Not just one, but hundreds. As the Queen moves through the crowds, the people of Bromley display not only their respect, but also their great affection for Her Majesty. At every turn, there are flowers, and more flowers. What finer present could Her Majesty wish for from a community celebrating 12 months' dedicated effort to the creation of a clean and green part of her realm? Proceeds from the car park. To the appreciation of the crowds and invited guests assembled by the Civic Centre, the Queen unveils a plaque to commemorate her visit. Then it's time for more flowers. A perfect introduction to the floral delight awaiting Her Majesty in the Great Hall. The exhibition which the royal party are invited to view displays examples of the cooperation of industry, commerce and the community with the Council in many local initiatives. And on stage, under the guidance of Peter Hall, the Bromley Schools Orchestra, so many gifted young musicians, complementing with music the visual glories of this day. In the hall, the display of work of voluntary bodies draws the Queen's attention. Prince Philip, accompanied by the Mayoress, walks to the display showing Bromley's concern for the environment and the many initiatives linking local industry and commerce with the needs of the community. The Bromley Council for Voluntary Service, focusing and coordinating so much good work. Bromley Enterprise Trust, Young Enterprise, Bromley Chronicle. The Queen learns of the partnership that exists in the field of housing, building societies, housing associations and council tenants. Pratt's Bottom Primary School, one of 3 schools celebrating anniversaries in this year of the royal visit. A moment to treasure the teacher and pupil alike. And at the end of the hall, a signpost, symbol of the variety of interests in the community of Bromley. Art competitions, photographic competitions, learning for life, taking responsibility for one's life, making a contribution to the common good. Bromley, clean and green. royal party now walk from the Great Hall to the Bishop's Palace, from an exhibition showing the vitality of the people of Bromley in so many areas of community concern, to a building rich in links with the past. Then the party will move to the council chamber, where the mayor will present to the Queen representatives of the team whose energy and expertise has enabled the funding, design and construction of the magnificent new council chamber, which today Her Majesty will officially open. The focus of the day's events before the representatives of the people of Bromley. Before the Queen unveils the plaque recording this moment in Bromley's history, a speech of welcome from the Leader of the Council, Dennis Barkway, OBE.
Thank you. Councillor Barkway.
Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, if it were possible for a borough's chest to swell with pride, I feel that Bromley's would have indeed swollen today. The honour falls to me to express on behalf of my council colleagues, and indeed on behalf of all local people, the warmest possible welcome to you both on this auspicious day. Next week, the Council will complete 21 years of responsibility for the administration of local government in this area. As the borough comes of age, one can say that over those years, a great deal has been achieved locally by way of cooperation between industry, commerce, the voluntary organisations on the one hand, and the Council on the other. Your Majesty will know from what you have seen in the assembly of some 2,000 representatives of local organisations in the Civic Centre grounds, and from the examples of their work exhibited in the Great Hall, that there exists in the borough an extraordinary level of voluntary support benefiting this council and our residents. You will have noted also how local industry and commerce lend a willing hand in sponsoring and assisting those efforts. Together with my fellow councillors, each of whom serves his fellow citizens in his or her own way, we join the many people who comprise this enormous body of energy and goodwill to express our appreciation of the dedicated service and example you give to all engaged in serving our society. Bromley's motto, to serve the people, is one which is an inspiration to us. In trying to meet this aim, we cannot help but admire the quiet dignity which Your Majesty and Your Royal Highness portray in going so happily about your many duties. The example which you set is a challenge to us all to emulate, and my colleagues and I greatly admire your ability to show confidence and serenity in what often seem to the observer to be trying circumstances. It is the wish of all within the borough, represented particularly by those members of the Council here this afternoon, that Your Majesty and Your Royal Highness should find amongst your most loyal and devoted people a great feeling of appreciation to you both for finding the time to be with us today. Your visit is an inspiration to continue to strive for all that is good in community life. I extend to you both the warmest possible welcome to the London Borough of Bromley and our most sincere appreciation that you should give your valuable time to see something of our activities. May I ask Your Majesty to do us the signal honour of formally opening this new council chamber.
Thank you for your kind words of welcome. I was very taken by your description of the borough's chest swelling with pride. Your ratepayers might guess that it is swollen with something quite different, but that perhaps is another sort of chest. I'm delighted to be here today with Prince Philip to mark the opening of your new council chamber. From this vantage point, it looks well suited to its purpose. I was interested to learn earlier about the many activities going on in the borough. Prince Philip was pleased to know how strong the Duke of Edinburgh's award is in this area. And both of us were much impressed by what we saw of the Council's Clean and Green campaign. The enormous number of visitors who pass through London, themselves a part of the problem, must be distressed by the sight of litter in the streets and parks. So I am glad to give my support to your efforts to tidy up municipal eyesores, plant trees, and dispose of untidy heaps of rubbish. How nice to think this afternoon that we have visited London's cleanest and greenest borough. After the 1st of April, you will find yourselves inheritors of new responsibilities. As you rise to this new and exciting challenge, I take this opportunity of wishing you well in the discharge of the important tasks carried out by local government. I now formally declare the new council chamber open.
Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, on behalf of all present in this room, I must say thank you very much for sparing the time to come here today and to open our new council chamber. We have looked forward eagerly to this moment, and now that it has come, we feel a great drawing together of all that is good in our land to produce an occasion of magic which will live in our memory for years to come. Today I have seen the great pleasure brought to our citizens when they had the opportunity of seeing Your Majesty walking amongst them. I could sense the great warmth and goodwill and affection they felt, and it was truly an uplifting occasion which they will remember for years to come. I think we might also add that the florist shops must be empty now in Bromley. Our borough is the largest of the London boroughs in size, with many open spaces which we cherish. We retain the postal address Kent for much of it, and in fact regard ourselves as the gateway to Kent for those leaving London, and the gateway to London for those coming in from the southeast. So we're rather proud of our position on the edge of Greater London, and we're very proud of our green open spaces. We do endeavour to present a clean, tidy and attractive appearance throughout the borough, and I do thank Your Majesty for the reference to our Clean and Green campaign. Yes, we have tried hard. Today we have seen some history being made in our borough, and this prompted the thought that this site has over 1,000 years of history, in that King Edgar gave this land to the bishops of Rochester in 955 AD. And they, the bishops, have had a palace here until the last century. It has come now to be part of our civic centre, and we are proud of our bishop's palace. As a memento, I would like to present to Your Majesty a book giving some of the history of the palace in Bromley. Thank you for that. Now that was the past. I'd like now to refer to the present, because we have in our borough some very fine colleges of further education. And a student at the Ravensbourne College of Art and Design has produced a most beautiful and delicate bowl to commemorate this special occasion. We are proud of the very high quality of work produced at this college, and the bowl epitomizes the very best in design and workmanship. We would be very honored if Your Majesty would accept this as a token of our esteem and loyalty.
Kind indeed, thank you.
I have two other small things to request of Your Majesty. Would you and His Royal Highness be kind enough to sign our distinguished visitors' book? And we also have a portrait which we would be very honored to have signed by you both. Thank you very much for that. May I ask Your Majesty to lead us out of this chamber when I believe we will have some tea awaiting. Thank you very much.
In front of the Bishop's Palace, the royal car gleaming in the afternoon light. The crowd here in the central courtyard is smaller, but no less excited than earlier in the day. Perhaps a slight feeling of sadness, because these are the final minutes of the royal visit. Before the Queen and Prince Philip take leave of the Mayor and Mayoress, a bouquet is presented to Her Majesty by Amanda Turner on behalf of the Council. With a final wave, the royal party depart. A last moment to cherish. Then all sadness is forgotten as the royal party moves onwards to the cheers of the people of Bromley. The 26th of March, 1986, the royal visit.
When she was coming along with taking acceptance flowers, the Queen was looking magnificent herself, and taking so beautifully that
it was such a happy time. I was very, very pleased to be there.